Alright, hello everyone, and welcome back for the final time tonight to the Dota 2 Professional League group stages. This is going to be game number 2 of a best of 2 between LGD and EHOME.L. LGD took a very convincing game 1, but EHOME.L looking to bring it home. They get the Beastmaster first, so they're going to enjoy getting their paws on that offlaner. And, well, once again, I'm Annie. I'm being joined by Sindar. Any thoughts on that first game, Sindar?
It really did just come down to LGD winning every single lane, crushing the last hits, finding good rotations despite some really honestly nice moves from eHome, always committing to those fights, bringing in everyone with those rotations. But in the end, that did mean that they did lose out on some farm, lose out on some experience in the laning stage. It did cost them as LGD moved into the mid game from an ahead position. And they just never looked back. They continued building their lead. So eHome, I want to see them pull out something a little different. I didn't really like how one-dimensional their draft was last game, and hopefully they can switch it up for game 2. And I do want to say, just as we get started here, LGD first picking the Tidehunter once again. We saw this out of Wings one game. And I honestly think that Tidehunter will be the offlaner of Manila. It's been getting picked up more and more. People, the Beastmaster still really solid, has that roar, but wouldn't you rather have a roar that hits potentially 5 heroes? It's just better.
Yeah, absolutely. Tidehunter, he's just also so freaking survivable. Like it's like wailing on a brick wall. He just doesn't die even with one casual point in Kraken Shell. And the old build used to be you have to pick up the Stout Shield, but for now, just the 1 point in Kraken Shield does the job, and you pick up an Iron Talon, you're able to go scoot off into the jungle. Tidehunter is certainly in demand, and it's actually banned out less because teams can counter it, because Tidehunter, I mean, he doesn't become that ultimate, like, top of the net worth, out of control hero, but he adds so much to teamfight, he adds so much to synergy, and the fact that you put one of your supports in the offlane means you open up to your draft to a jungler or a third semi-carry.
Oh, sorry, I'm busy dropping banhammers. My bad. What are
It's
we
all
talking
good.
about here?
Tidehunter is just super viable in most lineups. He
Yeah,
offers the opportunity to go for a jungler too, which is really rare nowadays.
yeah, exactly. He does offer that crucial ability, I think, in offlaners now to be able to retreat to the jungle if necessary. I mean, it's almost essential at this point. We've seen a couple of uh, people try and run offlaners who don't really fare well in the jungle, and it can really backfire. It's just so much safer to have that option. Now, Ehome Luminous, okay, so it will be LGD getting the Invoker for themselves this time. So we get a maybe Invoker. Always down with that. But
Yeah,
Luminous changing things up with the Disruptor pick.
I think the disruptor pick is good here. I think it's going to allow for that silence. It's going to allow for jumps, and if you get a really nice shout, disruptor can just walk in. It also has crazy utility control. So if LGD pick up slippery heroes, the glimpse is only a click away.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the Beastmaster Roar, it's such a nice combo. What do they get to go with this, though, is a different question. Is Disruptor, his downside is he does need to be ahead. He relies on a good start for his team in general so that they can find those pickoffs, use that spell effectively. And my my hope is that eHome can have a better laning stage, but I really want to see what heroes they're going to choose to do that. Against a maybe Invoker, they need something really strong in the mid lane. Maybe, honestly, they pull out something like a Quap. Just to combo with the burst damage that can come out from the roar, from the sonic, or from the static storm. They'll actually go for a Slark. Huh.
Slark is just a super popular pickup because it snowballs, and we have seen time and time again that LGD are so consistent, they're so disciplined, and they play good old Chinese Dota. Go in, get objective, get pick, get back. And Slark is a hero that really doesn't work well with that in the sense that if LGD start to make any sort of mistakes, Slark can capitalize on that.
Absolutely. But it is a hero that can struggle in lane if LGD pick up a strong. Well, they've got a tide, so he should manage just fine against a melee. The Disruptor can cause Tide some problems, but early on, Slark actually can't do that much damage to the Tide. As long as he builds maybe builds that passive. I am just losing
It's
it, Annie.
you have no excuse. This is like
I
your
know you've been
third
doing this
game of the
way
day.
longer than I have. I'm sorry. Bringing the whole cast down, you guys. Okay, so the Tidehunter against the Slark should be really decent for the Tidehunter. And slowing the Slark down is going to be key, as that is a snowball hero, of course. And he does have really nice setup. I mean, with the Roar, with the Disruptor, there's a lot of ways that Slark can be supported by his team in getting those kills that will help him progress. Oh, and I love this.
Oh man, that is an old style pickup. Like, what patch are we looking at here? But Enchantress is a super viable jungly support. She can build up items like the Urn to go out and help her team, and that allows Witch Doctor to focus more on the wards and doesn't really have to put as many points into the Voodoo Restoration, which means more aggro for LGD.
Yeah, absolutely. And the damage that this hero can pump out late game as well provides a lot to the team as a whole. So it's not just for that strong laning stage. So, I mean,
10 seconds remaining.
What do Luminous need? I guess. Okay.
Oh my goodness, that came out of nowhere. I guess I'm allergic to all these sick pickups in the draft. What?
Yeah. Okay, so the Vengeful Spirit, just a solid laner. A lot of kill potential. If they do run this as a defensive tri-lane, the Disruptor and Venge together mean that there actually is some kill potential on the Tidehunter. But
yeah,
it is still tough, and that means that they really need a mid who can get along by itself without any babysit if they want to run that kind of plan. So against the Invoker, the Dragon Knight, they banned it out themselves, actually. Interesting. Worried about potentially a safe lane Dragon Knight.
or safe lane Invoker.
Yeah, which is certainly an option as well.
I mean, I think just getting the DK out it's just a safe, just get him out of there. He's very frequently picked up, and don't even allow LGD the possibility to think of that. Now, LGD, into the last pick, assuming it is a maybe Invoker, because he does tend to run that a lot, they still need a big old core, and, well, I'm not quite sure what LGD want to pick up here. They've got great team fight with the Invoker and the Tidehunter. Do they want to pick up something that can kind of dodge out the fights and then come in at the last second with damage? Or let's just talk about that tiny pick. Okay.
Okay, so the Tiny is nice against the Enchantress because you don't care about Untouchable. The Toss Ava combo will blow her up. But without any support of a hero like a Wisp, without a way to get him into the fight, I mean, this is a tri-core lineup with a Slark and a Tiny and a Beastmaster, all melee cores, against a Tidehunter, an Invoker, and a Witch Doctor. I'm really not sure about this. And I'm trying to think, as the Sven is the counter, oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, I was gonna suggest the Sven because he can capitalize so well on those group up fights. If Tidehunter gets a nice Ravage, just rock in, toss out the Stormhammer, and rip everyone up. But Sven's really fallen off in popularity, and I'm not quite sure if it's nerfs to items or new items causing other heroes to be more viable, but Sven's just pick up less and less. But I think this is one of those games where he will just get in, get everything he needs, and we're gonna see if he comes online fast enough, though he does need a bit of farming time before he's super, super all up in your face.
But Sven's farming time ramp is way faster than the Tiny's, unless his team does some serious stacking work for him. Sven, with that cleave maxed, just farms faster than most cores in the game, period, except maybe an anti-mage. So Aggressive will, assuming he gets off to a good start, will have a great time on this. And as far as the Sven falling off in popularity, it's just because teams have been really picking around the hero and kiting him well. But he's against 3 melee cores. He should not get kited this game. He should just be able to jump on them and go to town. And the cleave damage, it's going to be a really nice pick. If the setup is there from the Ravage, I mean, at this point, LGD, they're wishing that they could go back for a Darkseer, but...
I am so excited here for the Shao Tidehunter. It's just so aggressive. Like, Tidehunter's great because he's survivable, but very few people run this Tidehunter as just an all-up-in-your-face, make-your-lane-stage hell kind of hero, and Shao, he's got the mechanical skill to do so, he's got the mindset to do so, and we're gonna see if that results in kill potential for LGD early on.
Yeah. Now, the big question for me with EHOME.L's lineup is what kind of timings they're looking for. You've got a Slark who generally... wants to farm for at least the first little bit, but then gets active. You've got the Tiny, who probably wants I mean, this game, they really don't have any other tower pressure heroes, so he probably rushes an Eggs. Although, no, he doesn't, because he doesn't have a Wisp. He needs that mobility. He needs the Blink so badly.
Yeah, I mean,
I
he's
don't
gonna
know.
go
It's going to be a
blink.
rough game.
It's going to be blink into Ags. I don't think we go with anything fancy like an early AC, because I really do think he needs that push. They're going to have the Beastmaster Necros out eventually, but oh, starting things off there, the toss going out, and maybe just eats up that Iron Branch tree. That's a really common thing we're seeing more and more mid laners do. Just, even if you're not that low health, eat the Iron Branch tree, because you get that casual regen going for you constantly. Now down bottom, Xiao they know he's aggressive. They're going to go in the pounce and the glimpse. A little bit of miscommunication. They do get the missile off, so Xiao he's not going to be locked in place for as long. They get out a lot of damage onto him, but he will end up surviving.
Yeah, I mean, it's even with these heroes, even with the glimpse, even with the stun, even with the pounce, it is so hard to kill this hero. And it does get a little easier as they get some levels up, but still, Xiao Wei, he's going to be able to get his experience for now. Will maybe struggle to get last hits, but that's not the end of the world. And September, in the jungle, he's got that smoke in his inventory already for when he finds a couple good creeps. He's going to use it right now, so already going to be on the rotation. Maybe looks for this Tiny in mid, who is a very easy gank.
Oh, he's
nope,
looking for
heading
Xiao
back.
Or he's looking to help Xiao rather, and maybe get a pick on one of these squishier heroes, the Venge. She doesn't have enough mana for him. She goes into the Clarity, which is cancelled. They get the net creep here, claps for days, and a couple more hits. The Hellbear Smasher gets first blood. I love plays like this. I once saw an Enchantress game where a Dark Troll Summoner went like 4-0.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, I mean, for these low HP heroes,
Oh,
it's
glimpse
just so
back
nice.
here.
Xiao
Xiao
Wei
gets
glimpsed
pounced up.
back.
There is going to be the Enchantress to throw out damage. In fact, Xiao Wei's tanky enough to turn this. This is the plays we love. They're going to go in. The Hellbear Smasher helps out once again, and they will get a kill in this bottom lane. Disruptor slapped down, and Tidehunter starting to hit his stride. He didn't die that first engage. Now he's 1-0-1, able to pick himself up shoes, and will be very, very close to the Tranquil Boots if he wants to go that route.
Yeah, I mean, when your defensive tri-lane feeds 2 kills to a solo offlaner with an Enchantress who rotates in after 2 minutes, you're just so sad. That basically gimps their lane significantly. And September, off to a fantastic start. Look at him, just zoning out this Venge. Not a care in the world. He will lose his big tomato, which is a little sad, but I'm sure he'll be able to find another one at some point.
Yeah, I mean, that early Hellbear clap is really hard to get off because you have to get all up in someone's face, and props to the Enchantress for knowing exactly when to go in, and they comboed that with Xiao Wei's survivability. So good. Now Freeze 1v1ing a Tidehunter. There are no winners in this fight.
Yeah. And Freeze has to be a little careful. He's actually only just hitting level 3. Xiao Wei's had 3 for a little bit. Freeze is being controlled in this lane, and Xiao Wei's getting everything he wants at this point.
Yeah, so Freeze, interesting enough, there was a little lane swap going on as Tiny is going to be playing, or the more typical position 1 player plays up the mid. In the mid lane, we are going to have the Maledicte come out as well as the Cask. There is going to be a Cold Snap as well. This is a dead Tiny. He tosses the Witch Doctor onto his own mid laner, but I guess that just secures that Witch Doctor doesn't end up taking any tower aggro. Now, down bottom, September has made a home of just going down here and harassing the Venge, and man, that nuke from the Satyr actually does some serious work, and Venge has to go back and play this one super, super safe.
I mean, look at the last hit chart. The Enchantress is even with Slark. The Tide is beating everyone with the Tiny. The Invoker is crushing the Tiny. The Sven is like untouchable, way out in front. He is getting a completely free lane here. I mean,
Radiant's bottom tower.
I mean, we talked about in the draft how LGD win their lanes, and so EHOME have to play around that, but they go for the Tiny, a hero who doesn't really provide much in the laning stage without any kind of support, and maybe is dominating him. I really don't know about this hero choice.
Yeah, I mean, we're only 4 minutes in the game, but it seems like every single lane is being stomped by LGD, and now there is going to be Un going in. When we wanted to initiate onto MMY, the boar doing some serious damage. He eats up a Tango tree, but meanwhile this Sven, he's still farming. This Sven has just had legitimate free farm the entire game, now 30 last hits at 4.5 minutes in. He's going to be going, he picks up the Helm of the Iron Will, probably going to be the Mask of Madness. I doubt we're going to see Armlet Sven. I've seen it before, but with the God Strength, you kind of don't need that extra damage.
Yeah, and there's already a camp starting to be stacked up for him in the woods. It's only one for now, but they can also potentially start stacking Ancients once he gets that Helm of the Dominator up. Never mind, he's got it up, so they can start stacking Ancients.
That is a quick Dom.
Yeah, and his farm is going to, like, he went Helm of Dom before even going Boots. So he wants to farm so fast.
Moon takes a
And
Maledict, gets beeped in the head by a cast twice in a row, courtesy of it bouncing off his boars, so he's getting a strict warning lashing, and I think if LGD really wanted to, they could dive under tower, but Moon's gonna get some time to sit back and farm, try to clear out these waves with his creeps, and again, Sven now goes ahead, he takes out a stack, or at least a camp, and there's no reason why he can't do this for another 10 minutes, because EHOME aren't devoting any resources to stopping the Sven. They
and
might
look
get
at mid.
freeze.
Oh.
He's running away. Wrong direction, hun. Your base is over there. But that is going to be Xiaowei picking up a second kill. 2-0-1. He is just rocking this out. He's going to be going... Is this going to be a Vlad's Tide? I mean, he's got the Bassi and he goes for the Ring of Regen. It's not... I think I'm wrong on that. Like, I think I'm really wrong, but those are components that build a Vlad's.
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really make sense to me because the Sven already has lifesteal. If he didn't, I think it would be a really nice choice.
I think it might just be casual Bassi into the headdress, which builds into mech.
Yeah, that would make a little more sense to me. And they will get a tier 1 for absolute free at the 6-minute mark. The Sven has been, the Slark has been completely driven out of lane.
Yeah, and that really opens up the Radiant Jungle to September, who's had the most fun time, just super, super aggressive, jumping in on you, and... Yeah, I mean, Tidehunter, he does have to pick up the Arcane Boots now. He's having the time of his life here. The Tide's net worth is higher than the Tiny's by, like, a really large margin at this point. And LGD, they're starting their snowball. What kind of comeback mechanics do EHOME have, or do they just tap out at 6 minutes in?
Well, you can't do that. You've got a Slark, you've got a Tiny. You have heroes who can fight rather effectively later on. You can go for pickoffs. As they will find Venge, so never mind, she's down. 5-0. The lead extends, but it's certainly not over yet. When Oon gets his roar online, he's got it in about a level. They can start trying to make some plays. If LGD stays spread out, then EHOME.L can potentially find some good rotations, get some pickoffs to try and get themselves back.
Stomp up here. They're not even giving any respect to a double damage Tiny to go through. Can they get another stomp? 15 seconds, the cooldown. The avalanche will come out. The double damage wears off. This Tiny's so poor. He's saving up for a blink dagger, but it's going to be like 10 minutes till he finds the space for it.
Yeah. I mean, I really don't know what the plan was picking the Tiny to run mid. I really don't. I'm sure there's a reason that they went back for this hero. I'm just not seeing it. And
the two ways I see Tiny run most frequently, especially in this Chinese scene, are you run it with either a Wisp or a very baby CD core that sticks by its side constantly, like a Dazzle, or you pick it up with a Alchemist and go for the Ag Synth, which is really popular because it just skyrockets Tiny's net worth. And speaking of Tiny, we are going to have a Sunstrike coming out. It will do some serious damage. Witch Doctor spraying out the ulti. There's going to be a return avalanche as maybe September goes down here, but no. Invoker just slapping down that pile of rocks. And now this is going to be more here as there is going to be a slow onto Oon. Glimpse back will maybe get the Witch Doctor out of the fight, but it's a bad time when your Disruptor target is the opposing team's position 5.
This is going to be a very quick GG, I think. Oh, this is a little depressing to watch. Poor EHOME.L.
MMY just walking under tower, no respect here. And, I mean, you've got your Disruptor, he's level 4, we'll take over to level 5 very soon, but still a full level off from picking up that Static Storm, and that means very little zoning potential. Beastmaster, he does have his ulti. He needs to get in there and use it, because at this point, LGD are enjoying sticking together as a very close wad.
Yeah. And, I mean, I don't want to harp on that too much, because I've already said a lot, but so the Venge gets caught out.
They have any catch mechanic though. They're just gonna let her off with a warning here. She
It's
TP's back one more
You'll
tick.
kill her.
Oh god damn! Does she die in the fountain or does she die? She dies in the fountain, which is a little bit more demoralizing.
3 points up in Maledict.
Oh, MMY gonna be the first death. Oh, they got this. EHOME, they're making it. They're making a comeback there. 1-7. It's over, man. EHOME win.
As the tower falls to the Sven in the top lane, who now has his power treads and 1,800 gold.
Oh, well, Beastmaster's going in for a shout here, and as the tower goes down, this could be a nice disengage. They do have Shout with Ravage. They just...
Oh, goodbye!
That's really unfortunate. And now Invoker is having a good time there. Disruptor. That was just a little bit painful to watch. Like, he just kind of keeled over and rolled onto his side and died. It didn't even seem like it took much effort from LGD at all.
Yeah, and I mean, I do want to shout out to this build on
What?
MMY. He's gone for 3 points up in Maledict, only 2 in Cask. But it means he drops the Maledict on a hero, the Sunstrike comes out, and they're dead every single time.
Yeah, and we talked about in draft how the Enchantress pickup with that point in Nature's Attendance means that they don't have to go for a point in the Voodoo Restoration, which allows Witch Doctor to level up just a little bit quicker, get that Maledict online, and now he's going to hit that level 6 and grabs the Death Ward. This means more and more damage coming out from LGD. It's really...
And Aggressive just gained about 1,500, 1,600 gold off of the back of that stack.
Sindar, we are 10 minutes in. There is almost a 13,000 net worth advantage for LGD.
Jeez.
That has gotta be some sort of record.
This is the stompiest game I've seen in this tournament, period.
This is the stompiest game I've ever seen, and I cast 1k replays.
Shots fired.
It's not even that EHOME were performing poorly, it's that LGD, when they went in, they executed their lanes so cleanly, and at EHOME they never got a chance to come online.
Yeah, agreed. And I was going to talk about it earlier before the bench went down bot lane. It really does come down to this draft. EHOME, they should have realized from last game that they were probably going to lose their lanes. They are just slightly the weaker mechanical players, but they still go for these heroes. Like, the Disruptor wants to be ahead, the Tiny wants to be ahead.
Oh, and just, he sits there and takes it. There will be a glimpse back. Disruptor tries to save. They are going to go through, but the Sunstrike secures a kill. Dominating streak, and now Sven does not care that he's going up against 3. There's going to be a Static Storm popped into the Sven, but he's still alive. The God Strength will come through after that silence ends. He's going to pop into it. Can he turn here? He's got a sliver of health. There's a Fairy Fire eaten from the Disruptor, but one more hit. It's getting bad. It's a massacre here as the tier 3s are under siege. Witch Doctor picks up a double kill. Now net worth is going to be going the way of about 17,000, and it's a GG well played at 11 minutes in. LGD...
And not a moment too soon.
So there's a lot of contest over whether LGD should have gotten a direct invite, and EHOME.L actually have been performing decently well in the tournament, but there's a reason LGD are such a tier 1 team. They can get in, they can go in as a cohesive unit, win every lane, and just, they pick a draft, they execute to the best of ability possible. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, and I mean, it was some great play all around from LGD. I don't want to take an inch away from them, but I mean, a lot of it does come back to the draft. Picking a Slark into a Tidehunter, picking a Tiny into an Invoker. I mean, they knew what the lanes were going to be. So it seems a little odd to me, the way that EHOME chose to go. But in the end, it will be a 2-0 for LGD, a very, very clean sweep for them between those two games. And I mean, it's never as fun to watch a stomp, but there is pleasure in seeing just incredibly clean, well-executed Dota, and LGD have provided that.
Alright, so again, this has been your conclusion of the English coverage of the Dota 2 Professional League Group Stages games for today. I really hope you enjoyed what I've been spitting out here. I've been joined for the last 2 series for my co-caster, Sindar. Where can everyone find you?
Please head over to twitter.com/SindarGaming, and you can give me a follow there. I am just getting started in the casting game, so any support you can show me would be much, much appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you've enjoyed the coverage.
Alright, everyone drop him a follow. Fantastic co-caster to have on board, and, well, I've been your hype caster for the evening, going on to my 10th hour, no, not quite that long, 9th hour of casting here. I'm Annie, aka Android, and you can find me on Twitter at Android or on Facebook at facebook.com/AnnieCasts. Your support over the past couple days has been amazing, so thank you all for that. If you enjoy my casting and you want to let me be around a little bit more, feel free to reach out to Beyond the Summit and let them know that you're enjoying what I'm spitting out for you. So again, thank you all for tuning in to the English coverage of the Dota 2 Professional League for today. That will conclude it. Tomorrow, 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time or 4 a.m. CEST, we're back online here on this channel. So see y'all then.